Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 95 of this awesome, amazing Usu Let's Play series. In the last episode, I talked about local scores and just some thoughts on competition as a whole, I guess. And in this episode, I want to sort of explain both Notelock and Fingerlock. They're terms that sound kind of similar, but they're a little different. Well, they're actually very different, but I'll explain what both of them are and I guess some general thoughts that I have regarding them. But before I get into the episode, I'd like to shout out as usual that I live stream every single day over at twitch.tv. So that will be linked in the description. But if you want to hang out with me or watch me play this game live or ask me questions, anything like that, please stop by, say hello. And also, bonus points if you tell me that you came from this Let's Play series. We'll be very happy to see you there. So I can actually demonstrate Fingerlock right now. This is a tapping issue where when you are streaming, for example, you might basically either not press down a key or keep the key held down. Basically, your finger is locked in place and doesn't move up and down like it's supposed to. If you watch this key overlay down here, oh shoot, move my mouse. Okay, so yeah, sometimes it involves the one finger staying down, which looks like that, and then sometimes it I don't know how to do it intentionally, but it's sort of like this. um where one key sort of like skips a beat basically. So that ties into the it's basically one of three things that can happen when you run out of stamina usually. So it's either a tapping technique issue where it happens very commonly. Yeah, the three things that can happen when you run out of stamina, basically, one is that you start finger locking, either holding down or not pressing down, or you start galloping, which is sort of like, how do you describe it? Like your taps become at inconsistent intervals. And the third thing that could happen is that your tapping just kind of dies and you start slowing down, things like that. Personally, I think the third form of tapping is most ideal. I think if your tapping technique lends itself to either finger locking or galloping, then you're probably doing something wrong. But regardless, if you have enough stamina, then or okay, by doing something wrong, I mean like some sort of inefficiency when it comes to the way that you're tapping. At least in my experience, again, in my experience. But regardless, if you have enough stamina, then it's not really a big deal. Because if you never run out of stamina, then you're never going to have those issues, right? So, yes. Now, Notelock. Notelock is a game mechanic where the game prevents you from playing notes out of order. So I will demonstrate this on this very simple map, where if I try to press a note while the game is expecting me to press the previous note, then it's gonna shake the note. So watch this. So I'm trying to tap the 2, but the game is like, oh no, you're supposed to tap the previous note, and so it locks you out of pressing the note. And this game mechanic was designed for these very simple maps, such as this one, the very first map created, map by Peppy, the developer of the game. And basically, hypothetically, I'm actually pressing every single note, right? But it's making me miss all of them because I technically, like, I press the 2, okay, but then it wants me to press the 1, but then by the time I press the 2, I've already moved on to the next note. And this is a mechanic that it really affects long streams in general usually, because, or really just fast patterns in general, because actually, okay, so one important distinction is that the timing of the note locking depends on the entire hit window of the note. So as long as the hit window, which is like, like if you hit late, then you get a 50, and then if you hit way too late, then you just miss the note. And that is dependent on the OD of the map, overall difficulty, which, if the volume goes away, yeah, the overall difficulty, which, yes, it's called accuracy on these settings. So the accuracy setting from 0 to 10, also known as overall difficulty or OD. So that depends how severe the no lock is. So this map is actually relatively high for this kind of map, but basically, as soon as the hit window for the 1 goes away, then the 2 is going to become hittable, except now you can see that I'm actually just pressing it way too early. So obviously it's missing because it's like way over here in the sort of timeline-esque thing of the hit error graph at the bottom. But yeah, so with that understanding in mind, that is Notelock. And it mostly affects long streams. I'm not going to play this map. I'm not going to play this. I just wanted to show you guys. Let's play Squall. Let's go. This map's so good. Okay. So yes, this mostly affects long streams and jumps, especially the ones that are at lower OD, because then the hit window is bigger. And if the hit window is bigger, then like it's more likely that you will have already left the note that you tried to play, and then like you end up locking on it, because like if you miss one note, then the game's going to be waiting for you to play that note for a really long time if the hit window is big. So because it's not going to let you play the next note until the hit window of the previous note ends. And on really fast patterns, this causes basically a chain reaction where if you miss one note, then it's going to lock you out of the next one. And this mostly happens on streams. I think streams are a lot harder in this game than they really should be, because if you miss one note, then you've already moved on to the next one. Like the stream is too fast for you to be like, oh, I guess I missed the note there. I better go back and make sure I play the notes in order. And yeah, that causes a lot of issues. So if you ever see people be like, oh, remove Notelock, Peppy, remove Notelock. Actually, Notelock is essentially fixed in Laser, which is the client that I'm playing on right now. And basically, there's a chart of Notelock that I will leave in the description. But oh yeah, actually, I can just pull it up. All right, let me find this. Notelock. Yes. Okay, I found the chart. It's that easy. Okay, here. So yes, let me pull this up in my browser. Notelock. Oh no, wrong thing. Wrong. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay. So this is the chart of Notelock. So this is the hit window. Okay, so this is just a straight up hit window. And so these are the hit windows of these 3 nodes. So this is like 3 single taps. Okay. So the hit window of the second object, obviously if you hit it right in the middle, sort of timing wise, this is the graph for the second object. Now, let's assume that you missed the second note, okay? Then let's look at the hit window for the third note. And there's a couple proposals basically of like these are proposals of different types of Notelock that should exist. So the white indicates that the previous note, or that the note will shake. So it's like, okay, you don't have time to or like you're playing at the wrong time, right? You have to go back to the next note basically. Yeah. So okay, yeah, note shake, and then the purple means previous note automatic miss. So if there was no Notelock at all, then like no matter what, if you tried playing the 3, then the 2 will automatically miss. And then obviously you can see the 3 here. Yeah, so all of these are like separate proposals for like what the 3 objects hit window should be. And Osu Stable, as you can see, has very evil Notelock. So you can see this bit right here is actually just the very end of Note 2's hit window. So yeah, Osu Stable, as long as the hit window for the Note 2 is up, then you will not be allowed to press the 3. So you would have to like slow down really hard to get your tap in this range so that the hit window for the 2 has passed. And this is on OD6, by the way. There's another chart of this for OD10. Let me pull that up as well. It's basically the same thing, but for OD10. And you can see that you can actually play it pretty much perfectly in time, but if you try playing it early at all, or you hit early at all, then it is not going to work. So yeah, you can see, okay, so the red, the red is here too, yeah. So red is like way too early and you'll just miss the note. So yeah, hopefully this gives, I don't know, for you more, anyone who wants a more intricate understanding of Notelock, then this is a sort of visual, and I'll have these images linked in the description as well. But Yes, with this understanding in mind, okay, you know, let me keep this image up. Okay, so let's say you're playing a stream, okay, and then you miss the 2, and then you try to obviously keep playing through the stream, and then hit the 3. Then you're tapping in the 300 zone, right? But the note is just going to shake, and then by the time you realize, like by the time this part comes, you've already moved on to the next note, and then that can cause like a really strong chain reaction. But on OC Laser, I don't actually remember which proposal it is. It's like one of these two. I don't know, but anyway, it's a lot better on OC Laser, where it'll just make the previous note automatically miss because it's like, okay, you've probably left that note already. So, yeah, that hopefully gives a clear understanding of Notelock, and I guess I'll just talk about general thoughts regarding Notelock, or like Notelock's perception in the community. Okay, it's actually been like a really big, almost like a meme, kind of. I think it's been, I don't know, requested to be removed from the game for a really long time. Especially, okay, really fast maps, right? Speed players, I think, have it worst because when the notes are very close together timing-wise, but like the OD is very low, or like, yeah, the OD number is very low, then the game is going to be like, oh, I should turn this mod off, by the way. Deselect. Okay. Yeah, the game's going to be like, oh, sorry, you're not hitting any of these nodes. And there's actually some clips out there of like people hitting entire jump sections, but they just get chain note locked. And it's actually really funny to watch, but it also kind of sucks. But yeah, a lot of people say that they find that they're a lot better at streams, or like they can pass hard maps a lot more easily on like OC Laser, for example. And it's because the difficulty is like super artificially inflated with Notelock. So I think that's largely all there is. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the reason why I say the difficulty is artificially inflated is because you end up chain missing instead of just like missing one note and then hitting the rest of the notes in a stream. Okay, that miss. Okay, that miss, for example, I would have definitely. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have turned off classic. That would have been a good demonstration of Notelock. And okay, I'm pretty sure I like my finger didn't go down. Okay, that is actually an example of Fingerlock. Okay, I don't actually know. It's hard to tell sometimes. Also, this is why watching your replay is very important, because you sometimes never know if you like misaimed or if your finger just didn't go down or something like that. So, but understanding what exactly went wrong, and I also discussed this in an episode where I talked about Rewind, which is a third-party program where you can watch your replays and analyze your gameplay, which is super valuable. I will have that episode linked in the top right corner right now. But yes, let's see. So let's talk a little more about Fingerlock. Usually if you're fingerlocking, I think it happens because you are... Actually, I mean, okay, it can happen at any time. So if you're trying to tap like really lightly, then you could end up just like not tapping hard enough and then like not actually pressing the key down, and so you end up finger locking. Or it's possible that you're finger locking because like when you're trying to put in energy, you end up tensing up your fingers and then they end up being unable to move. Or I think sometimes the opposite can happen, where like your finger like stays down completely, and that can happen when you like, let me think of how to describe this. Yeah, let's play one more map also, by the way. If your tapping technique is such that like your finger like doesn't move that much. Oh, I just... Okay, also sometimes there's a difference between like finger locking and then just like not pressing the key. I think I just didn't press the key, but my brain sent a command to my finger to press the key down, and then it just didn't happen. So yeah, sometimes that just happens. So they just call that brain lag. That's also called finger locking. But yeah, basically like sometimes your finger can be like really heavy. And also, okay, if you want to fix finger lock, I think it helps a lot to sometimes just like try tapping, but like not in an actual map. Like just watch, like don't even watch your screen, just watch your fingers moving while you try to string, and sort of see what exactly goes wrong when you are tapping. Because you'll sometimes find that like, okay, so me personally, for example, usually when I finger lock, it is my middle finger. And it's because my index finger very freely moves, like sort of independently. But my middle finger is like very attached to my ring and pinky, like the rest of my hand basically. And sometimes it just doesn't move. It's just like, yeah, it's very strange, okay? But yeah, practicing just moving both of your fingers up and down is, I think, really helpful. And that's like the best thing you can do, I think. Yeah, I'm a very strong advocate for this idea of finger control that revolves around like being able to start and stop patterns with either finger, and like being able to basically do the same exact thing with both of your fingers. I think that's sort of the best way to understand like finger independence. Basically, oh shoot, why is this map so fast? Yeah, I don't know. I think hopefully that gives a somewhat clear idea of Fingerlock and Notelock both, and I'm sure I have a couple other videos on my channel. If you're really interested in this stuff, you can probably search like Fingerlock, or actually Notelock. Okay, Notelock you probably don't need to, but Fingerlock, I think I have a couple other random clips from my live streams where I talk about it, so check that out on my YouTube channel. And yeah, I think that is pretty much going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end. Those of you who have made it this far, you guys are awesome. And if you guys have suggestions for future topics, and this episode topic was actually brought in by someone named Arianes in the last comments of the last episode, so thank you. And if you do have suggestions for future episode topics, please leave them in the comment section. Check out my channel for other videos, and also stop by my Twitch streams where I stream every single day. But with that, I'll see you guys next time.